Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in this video. So the solar eclipse of October 2023 is upon us, and it actually happens today. Okay. And if you look at the date and the timings of the eclipse begins on 8:34 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and it'll continue till 2:25 a.m. in the early morning hours. Okay, so if you follow the Vedic Paddhati, it'll still be the 14th of October 2023, and many would say that the solar eclipse is not going to be visible in India, and that is not going to impact the destiny of Indians in a big way. But that is not correct, because the sun is everywhere. Okay, the earth is too small as compared to the sun. So of course the solar eclipse is going to impact India, as it is going to impact the rest of the world. And if you look at the chart of the eclipse, okay, the timing of the eclipse, the rising sign is of course Taurus. Okay, and it is happening in the sign of Virgo, in the nakshatra of Mars, right? It's happening in the nakshatra of Mars, and it is happening in Chitra nakshatra as such, and Mercury and Moon and Sun are also involved in the eclipse. Okay, so obviously luminaries will almost always be involved, but then you have to look at the sign lord, which is Mercury. It is happening in the sign of Virgo. Okay, and the nakshatra lord is of course Mars. So Mercury and Mars are going to showcase the key themes of this solar eclipse of October 14th, 2023. Okay, and when it comes to Mars, right, Mars represents your fighting attitude. Okay, it represents standing up for all the things that you like to believe in. Okay, and in this case, in this solar eclipse of today, this is going to represent the themes which you will have to fight for in the next 1 year. Okay, solar eclipse effects will always last for around a year. Okay, lunar eclipse effects will always last for around 6 months. And when it comes to Mercury, where Virgo, where the eclipse is happening, the lord is Mercury. So Mercury represents your attitude towards making things better, towards improving them. Okay, Mercury represents your attitude towards improving things. How can we improve things? Okay, so the recurring theme of this solar eclipse, and these themes are of course going to show up in your life, not always, but at times where the karma has to manifest. Okay, so you have to improve the things ruled by Mercury in the chart, in your chart, of course. And while improving the things, you have to fight for the things that are ruled by Mars in your horoscope. Okay, so this is going to be the recurrent theme of the eclipse, and we're going to look at the predictions for each of the ascendants, or the moon signs, if you would like to say. Okay, so remember, you can see this from the ascendant as well as from the moon. And we are going to cover the first 6 signs in today's video, and in the next video we are going to cover the remaining 6 signs. Okay, and remember, and the other thing to remember that is that there are no actual remedies when it comes to an eclipse. Okay, an eclipse is always going to affect everyone, no matter who it is, or how much spiritual you are, or how much materially well off you are. Okay, so don't keep on searching for remedies. Eclipses are harbingers of change, and it is much better if you welcome the change with open arms, rather than running after remedies and doing elaborate pujas and expensive rituals and so on. Okay, so let's start with the sign of Aries. And this is, of course, you can look at it as Aries Lagna or Aries Moon. So if you are in Aries Lagna or in Aries Moon, then the eclipse is going to affect your 6th house. It's happening in your 6th house. And looking the themes that are going to be very prominent for Aries Lagna are the themes related to the 1st house of self and the 8th house, of course, of sudden events, And again, the themes related to the third house and the sixth house. Okay, so for Aries, this is about efforts. Okay, you'll need to put a lot of efforts related to your communication. You need to put a lot of efforts related to your, if you are dating someone, you might have to go that extra mile to woo that person. And you have to give efforts which related to your routine work as well as your enemies. Okay, for example, you might face a lot of troubles coming out of some legal issues, or some enemies or some competition at your workplace. Okay, so you have to improve these things. And as far as you are concerned, be very, very, as far as Aries Lagna is concerned, be very, very concerned about your health, because sudden issues or sudden diseases, something which was never diagnosed in the past, might come up and may impact your health. Okay, so be very careful about your health. Don't take rash decisions. Okay, if you have to take any decision, just wait. Okay, hold on, look around you and see whether the decision is going to be fruitful for you in the long run or not. Okay, for Taurus ascendants, this eclipse is going to affect the fifth house, and Mercury rules the third house and the fifth house. Okay, so you have to, second house and the fifth house, and so it means you have to give an extra effort when it comes to increasing your finances. Okay, if you are investing in the stock market, or if you are engaged in any kind of gains or speculative activities or speculative businesses, be very careful while investing your money. Okay, because this can actually lead to some kind of losses in the short run, in the next 1 year and so. All right, as far as the themes of the 7th house and the 12th houses are concerned, which is ruled by Mars, it means you might have to face challenges regarding your marriage or regarding your relationships. Okay, so there could be some long distance travel plans that could get stalled due to visa issues or due to any other issue that you never thought it would come up. Okay, if you are in a business or in a partnership, then some problems could come into the partnership. Okay, if you are in a marriage, then there could be some arguments and misunderstandings with your partner or with your spouse. All right, so be careful regarding these matters. Okay, now if you are having Gemini Lagna, this eclipse is happening in the 4th house, and Mars rules the 6th house and the 11th house. Okay, so be careful with recurring health issues, with long-term diseases that you might develop as a result of increased work pressure. Okay, I see a lot of cases these days that come from stress and hyperacidity and hyperactivity and hypertension. Okay, do not allow your problems give you health issues. Okay, if you are having some problems in your workplace, please try to resolve those problems at the workplace itself, rather than bringing them home or making those problems interfere in your health. Okay, there could be some issues in your network circles as well. Okay, so be careful while expecting something from the people in your networks, because those expectations might cause you problems in the long run later on. Okay, regarding the houses ruled by Mercury of course rules your 1st house and the 4th house. So there could be issues related to your mother. You could enter into some kind of arguments with your mother, maybe. Okay, maybe your car needs an immediate repair or maintenance or servicing. Please get that done. It might be a car, it could be any kind of vehicle that you own. Okay, and one thing to note for Gemini ascendants, if you have any instruments, any technical instruments at home, like clocks or watches or any other gadgets, please ensure that you get them repaired if they are not working or if they are not in a working condition. That can cause you to inherit some bad Mercury karma if you do not repair those things. And that can be that can snowball into something very, very big. Okay. Now for Cancer ascendants, the eclipse is happening in your 3rd house, of course, and Mars rules this house. Okay. Mars rules the 5th house and the 10th house. Mercury rules the 12th house and the 3rd house. So you could face problems related to your romantic affairs. You could face problems related to losses in businesses. losses in your, in your education. There could be some halts that you could experience in your, higher education as such. If you're trying to apply for some course, or if you're trying to change a career, then this is not the right time to do it. Okay. And if you are a Cancer ascendant, please try to complete whatever works you have kept pending for the last, say, last 6 to 8 months. Because if you don't, then these pending works are going to come and haunt you down later on. Okay. So even if you don't have any pending work, if you're starting something during this time, have this intention or have this intent of completing it within a stipulated time period. Okay. Now you can face problems related to communication with your spouse. You can face problems related to hospitalization. Okay, so you need to take care of your health as well. If you're facing some health problems and you have ignored it till now, please go and visit your doctor or a health professional to know what is actually causing the issue. Okay, get a proper diagnosis done so that it does not develop into a real problem later on. Okay, and if you are planning to take short distance travels, then please be careful, because that can lead to some kind of losses. Okay, it could be physical losses, it could be monetary losses too. All right. Then comes the Leo rising. So the eclipse is happening in the 2nd house, and Mars, of course, rules the 4th house and the 9th house. So, be very careful related to the health of both of your parents. Okay. There could be some issues related to your workplace where you can get into arguments or, in the bad books of your employers or your bosses. Okay. So try to maintain a healthy relationship with your bosses. Don't try to revolt or rebel against anything that your superiors or your bosses say, because that can be really, really detrimental for your career growth in the long run. Okay. And if you are involved in some religious work, then see that you don't end up doing the wrong thing. Okay, maybe you want to chant a mantra or something and then you get the wrong mantra. Okay, don't see that you don't get into such troubles. Okay, maybe you are trying to do a ritual, or you're trying to get a ritual done. Don't see that you don't get something, don't get some wrong information and get that ritual done. Okay, so apart from that, don't get into any kind of ego battles with your father as well as your guru. Okay, if you can face some traumatic times. If you have a guru, you can face some traumatic times in relationship with your guru, or with your with your boss, or with your superiors, or with your father figures. And Mercury, of course, rules the 11th house and the 2nd house. So this could could mean you putting in long hours to earn the money. If you're doing a business, especially, it could mean less clients or less customers in whatever you are selling, or whatever business you are doing. Okay, so this is a time to renew your network circles, maybe expand your network circles. But while doing that, take care of your health as well. See that you don't overstretch or overwork yourself when it comes to earning money. Okay, for Virgo ascendants, this eclipse is happening right in the 1st house. So, of course, you need to be careful regarding your health. You need to be careful regarding your work. Okay, don't try to, if you are in a job which you are not being satisfied, then try to be in that job. Don't try to leave that job immediately, because if you are doing it, then you might not find something else to do immediately. Okay, if you are looking to change, if you're planning to jump from one organization to the other, then ensure that you have done a proper background check before taking that decision, or before making that jump, because it's very much possible that you end up taking a wrong decision when it comes to making a choice related to your work or to your career. Okay, and of course, Mars rules the 3rd house and the 8th house, so watch out for accidents if you're into riding vehicles, or if you're into biking, or if you're into sports, any kind of sports activities. Try to watch out for accidents. Okay, you could face some issues related to inheritance, where maybe the one from whom you were supposed to get inheritance from is not communicating with you in a way or in a manner that you want them to do. Okay, so understand that this is not a permanent thing. It's a very temporary thing, and it's going to fade away. Okay, so be very careful while taking decisions. As I said, don't be any, as I said for Aries ascendants, don't be rash while taking decisions. Consult, everyone concerned, everyone around you while taking a decision. Try to listen to good advice from your elders or from your superiors or, from your mentors, whoever you trust. And I'm sure you will do good in the long run. Okay. So this is about the first 6 ascendants who will be impacted by the solar eclipse of today. And in the next video, I'll be sharing the predictions for the remaining ascendants. Okay, so that's it from me in this video. Kindly subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. And please share the video with your friends and family if you think they are going to benefit from this information that I'm sharing. So that's it from me. I'll see you soon in the second part of this video. Namaste. Om Gurave Namaha.